So, you used the SETC calculator and received your credit estimate, but now you're greeted with a checklist of paperwork and agreements. Don't worry, you're in the home stretch, and you're that much closer to submitting your application for processing. The folks at Gig Worker Solutions and Anchor Accounting know just how hard the self-employed work within our country, and they know just how frustrating and stressful it can be to work with the IRS or anything tax-related for that matter. That's exactly why we've continued to add and improve upon our process as we recognize and respond to the needs of those applying within the SETC program. One challenge we have faced thus far is the length of time from application to claimants like you receiving payments and communicating with the IRS for updates on processing times. In order to overcome those challenges, we created a first-of-its-kind Treasury and advanced processing procedure. And yes, that means there are a handful of documents and information required to accomplish these next few steps. In this video, we'll go over the items needed for your application submission so you can feel confident on why each piece is necessary and how to complete it. Claimants are eligible for the advance as long as they don't owe the IRS any back taxes, which will be verified directly with the IRS prior to funds being released. It's important to note that this system was built through strategic partnerships to overcome the long wait times seen from the IRS on this particular credit, and that neither Gig Worker Solutions nor Anchor Accounting is a lender, nor do we control who gets funding and who does not. You've been brought to a progress screen that outlines every item needed before Anchor Accounting can start building your claim, starting with an identity verification. Before you begin your identity verification, ensure that you are the actual claimant and not someone assisting the claimant with their application. Only the individuals on the application are permitted to submit any of the application requirements. You'll need to keep your cell phone handy for two-factor authentication, and you'll also need good lighting and adequate connectivity to increase your chances of success with verification. Finally, you'll need a valid government ID. The identity verification features we've added are meant to enhance the security of our platform and to comply with the IRS and regulatory requirements. To verify your identity, follow the steps below, or select your profile in the upper right-hand corner of the app and click Verify Now. Verifying your identity will consist of scanning your government ID and referencing your inputted information with that of an existing large government database. You'll also be taking pictures of your face, should whoever complete this verification need to be re-verified at a later date. If you encounter any errors verifying your identity, revisit the information you input, such as spelling of your name, date of birth, addresses, phone numbers, and all others you have input thus far. If you're unable to verify your information using the provided system, you will not be permitted to continue with your application. Next, you'll enter your funding information, meaning you'll input the bank info that you would like the credit to be deposited to. Carter Federal Credit Union will re-verify this information via PLAD prior to any funds being released to ensure they arrive in the proper account. Next, you need to sign your agreements. When signing, you'll be prompted to complete a one-time password verification with your mobile device to enter the system. As previously mentioned, if your identity information cannot be verified, the system will let you know that your information needs to be updated for you to move forward. Follow the instructions and make the necessary updates. You're given 3 attempts to complete your identity verification. If you fail all 3, we will be unable to process your SETC application. There are 3 documents for you to sign in this portal. The first is your engagement agreement with Anchor Accounting, which outlines the scope of work we are providing and allows us to complete the tax work on your behalf. The second is a limited power of attorney that allows Carter Federal Credit Union to provide treasury services for you. And finally, a Carter Federal Credit Union membership authorization form, as it's necessary for you to become a temporary member so they can complete this service for you, with the treasury services being paid for by Anchor Accounting. Let's cover a few of the most frequently asked questions about these agreements, starting with when you're required to pay Anchor Accounting for the services rendered. In order to understand when you'll be asked to submit payment, let's look at how our process works. After you sign your agreement, you'll be asked to upload your returns. Once your complete and unaltered returns are uploaded, we'll confirm eligibility, and if eligible, begin building the amendments to be sent to the IRS. Once we've built your amendments and reviewed them for accuracy, we'll send you the completed amendments to be wet signed per the IRS requirements. Upon receiving the documents that you need to sign and send back, Anchor Accounting will sign, package, and ship your completed amended tax file to the IRS. You'll be able to track your package in your application dashboard, and Anchor Accounting will follow your amended file throughout the entirety of the IRS process. Whether you receive your funds via the IRS, or if you receive an advance from our partners at Carter Federal Credit Union, our fees are due once you receive your credit funds. A few other common questions are, is the Treasury service optional? Why do I need to have a credit union membership? And why do I have to sign a power of attorney? Participation in the Treasury service is not an optional part of our program. It not only allows us to better assist you with your IRS processing, but it also ensures your funds get securely and directly deposited into your account, as opposed to a paper check getting lost in the mail. We also don't charge up front for our service because we didn't want cost to be a barrier of access to folks that could benefit from this credit. So, the Treasury service also ensures we can seamlessly collect our fees once your file has been processed by the IRS. Any documents that we receive on your behalf as part of the Treasury service are provided to you in your document center, here, in your application dashboard. The Treasury service and advanced funding option are provided through our partnership with Carter Federal Credit Union, and credit unions can only serve their members. Once you've received your SETC payment and any advances have been settled, the credit union will automatically remove your membership, unless, of course, you reach out to them and request to remain a member. The limited financial power of attorney is specific to the Treasury Services Agreement and to the SETC program. It allows Carter Federal Credit Union to provide Treasury services, which include receiving the SETC check, paying any applicable fees to Anchor and/or paying off in advance if received, and then providing the balance via ACH to the bank account that you provided here in the application. Now, we'll cover a few forms that need to be completed before the final steps of the application. The Form 4506T, or Request for Transcript of Tax Return, is a crucial document that authorizes us to obtain copies of your tax account status transcript, which we will use to verify if you owe any back taxes or not. If you elect the advance, we'll send these off once your file has been fully submitted. You must not owe the IRS any back taxes to be eligible for the advance through our partners at Carter Federal Credit Union. We ask everyone to complete this even if they don't elect the advance initially, as you can change your funding method at any time. We immediately send this off for processing to the IRS because they can take as long as 18 to 20 days to get these files sent to us. There are 2 additional IRS forms that we collect at the end of our processing, alongside your wet signed amended tax filing. But let's go ahead and cover these now. The Form 8821, also known as the Tax Information Authorization Form, grants us the authority to interact directly with the IRS while working on your SETC claim. This authorization is only for the SETC filings and does not apply to other tax years or matters. The Form 8822, or Change of Address, which facilitates the Treasury Service Program, will temporarily update your address to Carter Federal Credit Union's lockbox, so that the correspondence and checks can arrive there and be reviewed and processed. Again, copies will be provided to you in the Document Center, and once the SETC program is complete, we'll assist you in updating your address, or it'll simply automatically update when you happen to file your next tax return. Now for the final step. The IRS requires that you upload your complete and unaltered returns so that the Anchor accounting team can get started working with the IRS on your behalf. When the IRS says complete and unaltered, they mean that there can't be any redacted or partial information on the returns, and it means that they won't accept transcripts or watermarked copies of your returns either. Once you've successfully uploaded your returns, click Submit Your Application and Anchor will begin working on your file. In the meantime, please reach out to Gig Worker Solutions via the in-app support center for all your technical questions, or reach out to Anchor Accounting for any of your questions related to building and processing your amendment. You can track the status of your claim via the SETC dashboard, which after you finish submitting will be visible on the home screen of your Gig Worker Solutions portal. Thanks again for trusting us with your self-employed tax credit claim. We can't wait to see what you'll do next in the self-employed community.